It had been building quietly for months, the kind of rumor that refuses to die no matter how often it's ignored. Whispers spread online, screenshots taken out of context, innocent moments twisted into speculation. For a long time, there was no response at all. Then suddenly, the silence broke, and the reaction stunned everyone watching. When Sam Heughan was finally confronted with the pregnancy rumors involving Caitriona, the shift was immediate. His expression hardened, his tone sharpened, and the usual diplomatic distance vanished. Fans were used to seeing Sam deflect, joke, or gently shut things down. This time, he didn't. What made the moment so jarring was how uncharacteristic it felt. Sam is known for composure, especially when navigating invasive questions. He has weathered years of speculation without visible frustration. That restraint made this reaction stand out as something deeper than annoyance. Those watching described the moment as watching a line being crossed. The question itself may not have sounded aggressive, but the subject carried weight. Pregnancy rumors don't just speculate about relationships. They speculate about bodies, privacy, and choices that are deeply personal. Sam's reaction suggested that distinction mattered to him in a way it hadn't before. Instead of brushing it aside, he addressed the rumor directly. His words were firm, clipped, and unmistakably protective. There was no humor to soften the message, no attempt to redirect the conversation. The air in the room seemed to tighten as he spoke, signaling that this was not a topic open for casual debate. Fans immediately noticed the emotional charge behind his response. This wasn't a rehearsed statement or a PR-approved line. It felt reactive, almost instinctive. Many commented that it sounded like someone speaking before thinking, driven by emotion rather than strategy. As clips circulated online, the reaction across fandom spaces was intense but unusually quiet. Instead of excitement or drama, there was shock. People wrote that they had never seen Sam respond with that level of visible anger. Others said it felt like watching someone defend a boundary that had been violated one too many times. Attention quickly turned to Caitriona Balfe, even though she wasn't present in the exchange. Fans felt that Sam's reaction wasn't about rumor management, but about personal respect. The way he spoke made it clear the issue wasn't speculation itself, but the nature of what was being speculated about. Pregnancy rumors occupy a uniquely invasive space in celebrity culture. They reduce a person to their body and assume access to private realities. Sam's response appeared to recognize that harm explicitly. That recognition resonated strongly with fans who had long criticized the rumor as crossing a moral line. What amplified the moment was Sam's refusal to soften his stance afterward. He didn't walk it back, didn't qualify his words, and didn't apologize for his tone. For someone known to manage public image carefully, that choice felt significant. It suggested he believed the reaction was justified. Some fans began revisiting past instances where Sam had remained silent in the face of other rumors. The contrast was striking. Why this rumor, and why now? The answer many settled on was simple. This one wasn't harmless. It wasn't about fantasy or fandom narratives. It was about dignity. Others argued that the reaction revealed more than intended. They felt the intensity pointed to personal investment beyond professional concern. The debate quickly split, but both sides agreed on one thing: the response was real. What stood out was how Sam framed the issue. He didn't just deny the rumor, he challenged the right to spread it at all. That reframing shifted the conversation from gossip to accountability. Fans watching felt like they were witnessing someone push back against a culture that had grown too comfortable crossing boundaries. The shock wasn't that Sam snapped. It was that he snapped so clearly, so publicly, and without retreat. The moment disrupted years of expectation about how he handles controversy. That disruption made it impossible to dismiss. By the end of the day, the narrative had changed. Fans weren't debating the rumor anymore, they were discussing the reaction. The focus shifted from speculation to respect, from curiosity to consequence. Sam's anger reframed the entire conversation. Whether the reaction stemmed from personal feelings, moral conviction, or long-suppressed frustration remains open to interpretation. What wasn't open to debate was the sincerity behind it. This wasn't performance. It was a boundary being enforced in real time. For many fans, that enforcement mattered more than any denial ever could. It drew a clear line and forced people to reconsider what kind of rumors should never exist in the first place. In Snapping, Sam didn't just shut down gossip, he exposed how damaging it can be. And once that exposure happened, there was no going back. After the moment passed, the shock didn't fade, it settled. Fans replayed the clip not to scrutinize his words, but to understand the force behind them. Sam Heughan didn't just deny a rumor, he rejected the premise that it was acceptable to ask in the first place. That distinction changed everything. What stood out most was what Sam did not do afterward. There was no attempt to soften the tone, no follow-up interview reframing the response as misunderstood. He let the reaction stand exactly as it happened. For someone so accustomed to careful messaging, that silence felt intentional, almost declarative. Fans began placing the outburst into a longer timeline. Sam has faced countless rumors involving Caitriona Balfe over the years, romantic speculation, relationship theories, imagined scenarios. Through all of it, he remained measured. That history made this reaction feel like a breaking point rather than an isolated incident. The pregnancy rumor, in particular, struck a nerve because of what it implies. It turns a woman's body into public property and treats deeply personal realities as entertainment. Many fans felt Sam's anger wasn't defensive in a romantic sense, but protective in a human one. That framing resonated widely. Online discussions shifted tone almost immediately. Instead of dissecting clues or debating plausibility, fans began questioning the culture that allowed such rumors to circulate unchecked. Sam's reaction forced a reckoning. Some lines shouldn't be crossed, no matter how invested the audience feels. Still, the intensity of his response kept speculation alive in a different form. Some argued that only a deep personal connection could provoke that level of emotion. Others insisted that basic decency was reason enough. The divide wasn't about facts anymore, it was about interpretation of motive. What complicated matters was Sam's composure returning so quickly. He didn't spiral or lose control beyond that moment. That suggested the anger was focused, not reckless. Focused anger often comes from values being violated rather than impulse. As days passed, the clip stopped trending but continued circulating in quieter spaces. Fans referenced it as a line drawn, a moment where boundaries were asserted publicly. The reaction became symbolic rather than sensational. Media coverage mirrored that shift. Articles emphasized the nature of the rumor rather than the drama of the response. The framing changed from "celebrity snaps" to "celebrity calls out invasive speculation." That reframing legitimized what many fans already felt. The absence of a response from Caitriona herself added another layer. Her silence was interpreted not as avoidance, but as trust that the boundary had already been enforced. Fans respected that choice, reading it as confidence rather than discomfort. Over time, the incident became a reference point in broader conversations about fandom behavior. People began asking where admiration ends and entitlement begins. Sam's anger served as a reminder that public figures are not immune to harm simply because they are visible. What lingered most was how rare such moments are. Celebrities often absorb discomfort quietly to preserve image. Seeing one push back so directly felt jarring but necessary. Fans didn't feel entertained, they felt confronted. The reaction also reframed Sam's previous silences. What once seemed like passivity now looked like patience. When patience ran out, the response was sharp and unambiguous. That arc made sense to many watching. In the end, the moment wasn't remembered for the rumor itself, but for the line it exposed. A line between curiosity and intrusion, between fandom and humanity. Sam's reaction didn't confirm anything about private lives, but it clarified something else entirely. Sometimes, the most revealing moments aren't about hidden truths. They're about values made visible under pressure. In Snapping, Sam revealed what he will no longer tolerate. And for many fans, That revelation mattered far more than the gossip ever did.